My name is Lucy. Every morning, before the first light touched the quiet rooftops of the town, she whispered those words to herself as if they were a fragile promise that she still existed, that she still mattered, even if no one else called her name. She had no parents, no family, no one waiting for her at home. The only thing she had was a small silver necklace she had worn since she was a baby. It had no name, no message, no memory attached to it. Just a silent reminder that she came from somewhere, even if she didn't know where. She lived in a small room above an old bakery. The smell of fresh bread rose through the wooden floor every morning, but the warmth of that smell never reached her heart. Because warmth, for Lucy, had always been something she watched from a distance. Every day, she walked to the flower shop at the corner of the street. The shop was called White Petals. It was small, simple, and quiet, just like her life. But inside that shop, she felt something different. Peace. Because flowers did not leave. They did not lie. They did not forget. She arranged them carefully each morning. White lilies for peace. Red roses for love. Yellow daisies for hope. Sometimes she would hold a rose in her hand and whisper softly, "What does it feel like to be loved like this?" But the flower never answered. At night, she climbed to the roof of the building and sat under the open sky. The stars were the only ones who listened to her. "Hello," she would whisper. "Can you see me up there?" Sometimes she imagined one of the stars was her mother. Sometimes she imagined someone out there was thinking of her. And sometimes she cried silently, hugging her knees, letting her tears fall where no one could see them. One rainy afternoon, when the sky was gray and heavy and the streets were nearly empty, something changed. The bell above the shop door rang softly. Lucy looked up. A young man stood there, his hair wet from the rain, his clothes slightly muddy, his eyes carrying a quiet sadness. "Sorry," he said gently. "Are you still open?" Lucy nodded. "Yes." He stepped inside slowly, looking around at the flowers like each one held a memory. "I need flowers. Something simple." "For what occasion?" Lucy asked. He paused for a moment. "For someone I miss." Lucy felt her heart tighten softly. She chose white lilies and a few small blue flowers and wrapped them carefully. "These are for peace." "And remembrance," she said. He looked at the bouquet, then at her. Perfect. When she handed them to him, their fingers touched. Just for a moment. But something warm passed between them. Something new. "My name is Daniel," he said. "Lucy," she replied. And in that quiet moment, neither of them knew that their lives had just changed forever. Daniel returned the next day. And the day after that. At first, he came for flowers. Then he stayed to talk. They spoke about simple things at first, the weather, the town, the shop. But slowly, their conversations grew deeper. Lucy learned that Daniel had lost his mother a year ago, the only family he had. Daniel learned that Lucy had never known her parents at all. Two lonely souls, finding a place to rest in each other. They began walking together every evening after Lucy closed the shop. They walked along the quiet road, under the orange light of the setting sun. Sometimes they laughed. Sometimes they spoke about their dreams. Sometimes they just walked in silence, enjoying the presence of someone who understood. One evening, Daniel looked at Lucy and said softly, "You know, when I'm with you, the world feels less heavy." Lucy felt tears rise in her eyes. No one has ever said that to me before. He smiled gently. Then I will say it every day. Weeks passed. The seasons began to change. The air became cooler, and the leaves turned golden. And one night, under a sky full of bright stars, Daniel stopped walking. He turned to Lucy, his expression soft and serious. "Lucy, I love you." Her heart felt like it stopped. All the loneliness she had carried her entire life, all the empty nights, all the silent prayers, they all came together in that one moment. "I love you too," she whispered. And for the first time in her life, Lucy felt like she belonged somewhere. Their love was gentle, quiet, and real. They dreamed of a small house with a garden full of flowers. They dreamed of waking up together, sharing meals, growing old side by side. Lucy finally allowed herself to believe in happiness. But life sometimes carries hidden storms. One morning, Daniel didn't come. Lucy waited. She looked down the street again and again, but he never appeared. The next day, he still didn't come. Her heart began to feel heavy with fear. On the third day, a letter arrived. Her hands trembled as she opened it. "Lucy, I didn't want to tell you this because I didn't want to hurt you. I am very sick. The doctors say I don't have much time left. I didn't want you to watch me fade away. You deserve a full life, a happy life, not pain. Please don't come looking for me. But remember, you are the greatest light I have ever known." The paper slipped from her fingers. Her world shattered. "No, I won't lose you too." Lucy ran through the streets, asking anyone who might know where Daniel lived. Finally, an old man told her. She ran, and ran, and ran, until she reached a small house at the edge of the town. She knocked. No answer. With shaking hands, she opened the door. Inside, Daniel lay on a bed, pale and weak. "Lucy," he whispered. She rushed to him, tears falling uncontrollably. "How could you leave me? I already lost everyone. I can't lose you too." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. "I didn't want to hurt you." "You hurt me more by leaving," she said softly. She held his hand tightly. "I'm not going anywhere. I will stay, no matter what happens." And she did. Every day, she stayed by his side. She cared for him. She read to him. She told him stories about the future they once dreamed of. They laughed when they could. They cried when they needed to. They loved each other through every moment they had left. One evening, as the sun set gently and painted the sky in soft pink and gold, Daniel looked at Lucy and whispered, "Promise me something." "Anything," she said, "when I'm gone. Don't stop living. Don't close your heart. Love again. Smile again. Live. For both of us." Lucy shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "I don't want a world without you." He smiled weakly. "You won't be without me. I'll be in the flowers, in the wind, in the sky, in your heart." She held him close and whispered, "I promise." That night, as the stars filled the sky above them, Daniel took his final breath in her arms. Lucy held him tightly, her heart breaking in a way she never thought possible. The love she had waited her entire life for was gone. The days after were filled with silence. The flower shop felt empty. The streets felt cold. The nights felt endless. She stopped smiling. She stopped speaking. She stopped feeling. But deep inside her, a small light remained. The promise she made. Slowly, gently, Lucy began to live again. She opened the shop. She arranged the flowers. She spoke kindly to customers. Behind the shop, she planted a garden of white lilies, Daniel's favorite. Every evening, she sat there and whispered, "I'm still here. I'm trying, just like you asked me." One day, a small girl entered the shop. She looked shy and alone. Lucy saw herself in that little girl. "Do you work here?" the child asked. Lucy smiled gently. "Yes." "It feels warm here," the girl said. Lucy's heart softened. She knelt down and asked, "Would you like to help me take care of the flowers?" The little girl's face lit up with a small, hopeful smile. "Yes." And in that moment, Lucy understood something beautiful. Love never truly disappears. It changes. It grows. It lives on in new hearts. Lucy began helping children who had no one. She gave them flowers. She listened to their stories. She gave them the love she once needed. Her small flower shop became a place of comfort, of healing, of light. Years later, people would say, "If you are hurting, go to Lucy's flower shop. You will find peace there." And every evening, Lucy would sit in her garden of white lilies, looking up at the sky with a gentle smile, because she knew the love she lost never truly left her. It became the light that helped her love the world again. Thank you for listening. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more emotional stories.